Hello and welcome to BotN's first kill of Tortos. We did this on 10-man. I am the off-tank in the video. This is actually an alt that I'm on. Our main tank was not available to raid tonight. This is essentially a guide from the off-tank's point of view. If you're looking for a complete guide to the fight, this video is not for you. If you are the off-tank in charge of bats and you need a couple tips and tricks, then keep watching. As a paladin tank, what I'm doing at the beginning of this fight is just storing up some holy power so that I have it available for the bats. The bats are going to be your main source of incoming damage as an off-tank. Run around and help DPS some turtles, make sure you don't get hit by them. Holy Prism is good to use on the turtles if anybody does get hit, and it's also good to use after a quick stomp. The bats are going to be coming down at Elisaria right now. Holy Wrath, Shield of the Righteous, and then start AoEing. Bring them to the front of the turtle so that any Tortoises getting kicked through hit the bats and Tortos, and all your melee and AoEers can, benefit from the damage buff. Start of the fight, there's not a whole lot of damage going out, and the bats die without needing to use any cooldowns. Before anybody points it out, yes, I know that I'm bad at keeping Sacred Shield up. I need something that gives me an audio warning, perhaps. So the way you know what healer they're going to go to, and they're always going to go to a healer because nobody's ever doing damage to them, is look at the healer raid frames in the Blizzard Raid UI. You'll see the border around the healer, and the color of the border will indicate how much aggro that healer has relative to you. If it's yellow, they don't have that much. If it's orange and red, they got a little bit more. Practically speaking, the color of the border doesn't matter, because you as a tank should be able to pull it off pretty easily. And the bats are dead before a Quake Stomp again. Holy Prism after the Quake Stomp helps the healers out a little. Run around and make sure that you don't stand in any blue circles. You see the red border around Honan? He was right there with me. The whirling turtles don't do a whole lot of damage. Avoid them if you can, but it's more important to get the bats into position. And make sure that they are off the healers. Especially as a paladin, you have plenty of cooldowns, especially if you have the Divine Protection glyph. And you shouldn't have much trouble living through that. You'll note that I am doing this fight without any sort of boss mods. That is for two reasons. One, I actually find them annoying. And two, is to show that it can be done. I have Tortos as a focus in the middle of my screen. The reason for that is that if I need to use any sort of cooldown, if there are bats on me when the Quake Stomp occurs, I've got a cast bar right above me. Hey, there goes a bat. Hey, it's coming back. You'll note that I have a star on my head. The druid has the orange circle. The monk has the green triangle. It helps to color code your healers so that you know, just by looking at the class colors in the raid frames, what symbol you're looking for and where they are in the playing field. The druid's a little bit farther away. That was a good power word shield on the priest getting me over there. Pick the bats up off the healer, bring them to the front. Divine Protection to help with a little bit of incoming damage. As the fight goes on, the healers are going to be more and more stressed. Tortos is currently at 35%. One or two bat waves from now, you'll see how crazy the fight gets. And that's me standing there with no Sacred Shield up. In between bat waves, I'm making sure to get my holy power up to the top so that I can have the highest amount of uptime possible on Shield of the Righteous. As a paladin tank, make sure that you're also keeping an eye out for the raid. You've got Lay on Hands that can be used on yourself or another raid member. You can use Word of Glory. You'll see that the main tank currently has Hand of Sacrifice on him. Just go ahead and use that if you think the main tank might have aggro on the bats. The healers will likely be focusing you, so if you end up taking just extra boss damage, then it's no big deal. If your main tank really does have adds, then you're probably going to save his life. Tortos is at 20%, and this is where the fight's going to get hectic. Hopefully you have at least one cooldown, preferably several saves up for this bat wave. The most important part of this fight, as the off-tank, is knowing which healer is getting aggro on the bats as they come down, finding that healer, and then pulling the adds off the healer. A Holy Paladin with Righteous Fury may or may not be a good idea. It'll certainly get the adds to that healer, but it may not be very easy to pull the adds off the healer. That was the last bat wave, and Tortos is going to drop. Because all the bats were tanked right there, and we timed our Tortos kicks to time when the new Turtles came out, we ended up with the 1-up achievement. This is Alexina on Manaroth. To all the other off-tanks out there, good luck.